So, this is one I've been waiting to do for a while. And as the name suggests, this is about my foray into the PC gaming world. But before all that, I want to share with you all a bit of an event we got coming up. Come Tuesday, we are going to be doing a Christmas stream. Tune in from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where Pam and I will be joined by a few guests as we play some party games and do a couple giveaways. For those of you familiar with my previous work, you may know the Christmas stream already. For those of you who don't, it is a little get-together I like to do, bring in some friends and have people that may not have anything else that they have or want to do otherwise, and just kind of hang out for a little bit, play some games, and have some fun. This is I believe the third Christmas stream that I will have done, this being the first, of course, with RNG though. So if you're looking for something to do on Christmas Day and maybe even possibly win a gift or two, do tune in and join us. But enough of that, on to the meat of this video. As I implied in the opening, this was actually something I've been wanting to do for a while, as most of which we're going to talk about has actually happened quite a bit ago, but due to circumstances which I have talked about to some degree previously, I was unable to, or at least I had other things that I wanted to do first. Anyway, so I'll just get right into it. As you may or may not know, I am pretty much a console gamer. Haven't really done much PC gaming. A little bit here and there. Used to play a lot of Command & Conquer, like way back when. I've always had a computer, but I've never had a proper gaming PC. I've never had anything that was really powerful enough to really push the latest and greatest titles. Most of which I played on, proper low settings on very low demand games. So I wouldn't necessarily consider myself having never been a PC gamer, but it definitely was not my main source of gaming. Now, I won't go into great detail about the pros and cons of PC and console gaming. That's a discussion for another time. What I will say is one of the main reasons why I've not done any high-end PC gaming is because high-end gaming PCs are very expensive. And actually a part of the reason why I'm able to get into it now is because I was able to get a really good deal on a gaming PC. PC was namely the Corsair One. I believe it's basically a mid-range model. It comes with an i7 7700K and a GTX 1080, which are not the highest you can get, but are pretty well up there. And that setup is, of course, able to play pretty much most games out there. It's able to do VR. Now, as far as what I paid for it, I won't go into that, because like I said, I got a really, really good deal. A friend was getting rid of it and hooked me up. Oddly enough, it actually did have a problem with it, but Corsair, I tell you what, and this may be a one-off experience, but I had an excellent experience. It was actually a factory defect, and I called them up on it and told them what was up, and they were like, oh yeah, no, that problem happens. We're just gonna send you out a new one. I was like, awesome. Now, I mean, the PC wasn't that old, but, it was used, and I ended up getting a brand new pre-built high-end gaming PC. So that was a pretty sweet deal. Really good deal, actually. Now, as far as gaming peripherals go, our friends at Razer were nice enough to send over a few things. And of course, I didn't go into it blind. I actually took some time to research what they had and what would be a good fit for me, what I liked and what I didn't like, and they sent some stuff out. So here it is. Now, for a gaming keyboard, I kind of went a non-traditional route. Most people go with something like the Black Widow, a mechanical keyboard. I understand the value of the mechanical keys, but I know I'm going to be doing much more than just gaming on it, and I may be sacrificing a little bit as far as functionality for gaming, but I also wanted to go for comfort, feel, and a little bit of look. I try not to focus too much on aesthetics when it comes to something like that, but I did. So what I went for was the Razer Ornata Chroma keyboard. They also have a non-chroma version. The reason why I chose that one is because, for one, first and foremost, the noise that mechanical keyboards create. I know they have a bit quieter switches, but the proper, snappy, clicky switches are just way too loud, and I was not really a big fan of the level of sound. I do appreciate how they feel tactily, but I just couldn't go with the sound on it. Now, I could have gone for a more linear switch, but I wanted some level of tactile feel. So I went with that Mecha Membrane key, which from what I could tell, Razer's the only one that makes it. It's kind of a faux mechanical mechanism with a membrane switch. It still has that snappy feel to it. You still get a little bit of the snap that comes with the mechanical key, but I have the soft feel of the membrane switch, which I like that, and I also like the quieter feel of the snap to it. Not to mention the fact that for those of you that like fidget cubes, it almost feels like popping bubble wrap, like a soft snap under your fingers, which I really enjoy. Now, as far as gaming performance, I think it's still going to perform as well as I need, and it has the feel that I would be most comfortable with, and I feel like comfort is going to be a big factor in performance. I'm not the greatest player in the world. I feel like it's not going to make or break me not having the best keyboard that there is to have for gaming. So that's why I went for that one. Now, as far as a mouse, I feel like this one was kind of a little bit more straightforward, or maybe not, I don't know. I went for the Razer Basilisk, which it's gaming mouse. It has all the gaming mouse functions, but what stood out about this mouse more for me than anything else was the grip. I liked how it felt in my hand. The shape of it just felt right to me. And then as an added bonus, this actually wasn't one of the reasons I chose it, but it ended up being a subsequent good reason to have it, is the side switch, which I don't know does it have it on there? A DPI clutch, which I do not use it as a DPI clutch. I actually use it as a toggle. So when I hold it in, it changes the functions of other buttons on the mouse. And I don't really use it too much yet for many functions, but one thing I use it for more than anything else is I use that to toggle my center mouse wheel. So when I hold it in, my mouse wheel becomes a volume knob, which is huge for me. I liked having a media key or a media dial on my keyboard, and because I chose the Ornata, I ended up not having one, but I exchanged that for having one on the mouse. So that works out great. And it actually works out even better because I am doing double duty with it instead of just unitasking it. As far as the gaming usage of it, I feel like that one's going to function just as well as any other gaming mouse. I'm not super knowledgeable of like the major differences as far as like responsiveness, tactile feel, and everything. All I know is the mouse feels good in my hand, and it has a couple of key features that I really like about it. So that's what made me choose that one. And as far as headset peripherally, this is actually something that I've had for a very long time. I really like the Razer Kraken headphones. I have a USB model, and then I also have an 1/8" plug model. And like I said, these are ones that I've actually had for some time. The earpiece is actually kind of wearing out a little bit, but really love these. I just like how they sound and how they feel. I mean, there are hardware reviewers that would be better at describing the benefits of it than I would, but like I said, these are ones that I've used for quite some time. The mic in them sounds acceptable. It's not the greatest, but it serves me well, so I was happy with it. So yeah, so the Kraken Pro V2 is my go-to headset. But yeah, so that's kind of a little rundown of the gaming tower and the peripherals that I'm going to be using. Now, like I said, I've been a console gamer, but I've never gamed on mouse and keyboard, save for a couple of games like Command & Conquer, where it just makes more sense to use mouse and keyboard. I'd say it's a lot more cut and dry that mouse and keyboard is just better for that. Now, I'm not saying that controller is superior or that mouse and keyboard is not superior, but I just know that there are a lot more people that use controller for playing first-person shooter games. I'm not trying to argue, at least not now, like to save that argument for another time on whether or not keyboard or mouse or controller is better, but I've never really played first-person shooters with a mouse and keyboard. I've always used a controller. Even on the instances where I did or was able to play on PC, I hooked up a controller to it, and some would be more upset than others about that, but that's just kind of the way it was. And if nothing else, it was just a comfort thing. I'd been playing on controller for so long, I wasn't prepared to make the shift. Now, given the fact that I've got this new setup, I figured I would make the jump and get into first-person shooter playing with a mouse and keyboard. And in doing that, I figured I would share with you my experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start streaming. I'm going to be playing probably PUBG, maybe some Call of Duty, maybe a couple other titles, we'll see. But I will only do it on stream just so you can kind of see me going through the trials and tribulations of learning how to use a mouse and keyboard. Now, this isn't 100%. Like, I've actually tested a couple times, long enough to realize that I'm like, this is no fun, and I just plug it in a controller and go in again. This time, though, I'm gonna just stick with it. As long as I'm streaming, I'm going to be playing on mouse and keyboard. I may rage quit and cut a stream short. Hopefully that won't happen. Probably won't. I think I'll just stick it out. So I have to learn all the functions of the keyboard, all the mouse commands, everything that goes with it. No shortcuts, no stopping to use the controller, nothing. So if you are interested in checking something like that out, you can tune in. It's going to be right here on this RNG channel that I'll be streaming my foray into keyboard and mouse first-person shooter PC gaming. And of course, the irony is not lost on me that this is actually relatively new news that Xbox added keyboard and mouse function. If I ever get to a point that I really enjoy keyboard and mouse, that I want to bring it over to the console, I will do that, and I'll share that experience as well to see one-for-one comparison of how some of the games play compared to, between the two. Obviously, when you have a powerful enough gaming PC, there's going to be no contest. It's going to play much better on it, but of course, that is the difference between a $500 $300 gaming console and a $2,000 gaming PC. It's, if you spend the money, you're going to get the performance. But anyway, I do thank you for tuning in to this little talky bit about my jump into the PC first-person shooter keyboard and mouse business. I look forward to those of you that choose to tune in on the streams. Do tune in Saturday, December 22nd, time TBA, and I will be doing my first of what will possibly be many streams where I cut my teeth on the keyboard and mouse first-person shooter gaming. So for those of you that tune in, I will see you there, and for those of you that are just checking out these little vlogs, I appreciate that as well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Oh yeah, and they come with RGB chroma.